We have a big family here tonight.
All right, Coach Saban is joined by Ryan Anderson and Bo Scarbrough. Coach, we'll take an opening statement and then go into questions.
Well, I'm obviously really proud of our players in terms of we knew this would be a tough game. I think when you get to this point in the season, especially when you have this much time between games, it's a little bit like running a marathon, which you get at the 20-mile mark, and you still feel like you're only halfway there. But we got more miles to go, and these guys are very committed to it, and they worked hard over the holiday and made a lot of sacrifices, and I was really proud of the way we competed. We knew it would be a tough game out there. They've got a really good defensive team. I think our defense did a really good job against their explosive, big play receivers and offense that they have, and I was just really pleased with the way we played together as a team. I thought Eddie's article that he wrote sort of epitomizes, the team chemistry that this team has, and how they really sort of care about each other, and everybody tries to help each other and have each other's back and support each other and doing the right things. And I think that kind of leadership and that kind of togetherness is something that really helped us sustain the kind of effort that we needed in what was a very tough game tonight against a very good Washington team.
All right, we'll start with questions over here on the far side. Mark.
Coach, congratulations. Looked like when you guys were on offense, you were kind of behind their defense, seeing how they were attacking your offense. And I was just wondering what you were seeing them do on defense, and what kind of adjustments you tried to make on offense in response.
Well, I think that we went into this game thinking that we really needed to run the ball. And I think early on we ran it effectively, especially on our first scoring drive. And then we started to see a lot more inside backer plugs. We started to see a lot more, corner fires, pressures from the edges, and that made it much more difficult for us to run. We were ahead in the game, and obviously I think we have to do a better job of creating balance on offense and being able to throw the ball a little more effectively. And that's something that we'll continue to work on.
Okay, right here in row 2.
Coach Saban, Kerry Clark, BamaMag.com. One of the keys to the success of the running game was the 180-yard school bowl record by Bo Scarbrough and the tackles that he broke. There were times he was stopped, but he broke tackles, extended the play, scored on one. Just talk overall about the job he did for you today, please.
Well, Bo has really played well for us, especially the second half of the season when he got healthy, and we've been playing him more and more, and he has certainly delivered for us in a really positive way. I mean, the long run that he made tonight, broke a tackle, and the one he had at Tennessee that was a long run, guy hit him in the hole, but I think that's what makes him a great player. He's got great size and speed, he can run behind his pads, he's got good vision, he's a good receiver, and he can block, so he can do all the things that any good running back can do, and his productivity has certainly been a benefit to this team, especially the second half of the season.
All right, right here in the second row up front, please.
Drew DeArmond, WZZN Radio. Coach Saban, I wanted you to comment on Anthony Averett tonight. I thought he was really good in coverage and also played a great all-around game. He really set the edges for the running game and didn't allow them to have a lot of big plays on the perimeter runs.
Well, I think that Anthony has played well for us all year. Probably gets a little overlooked, based on some of our other players, but he has been a very consistent player for us all year long. I think that you really have to talk about, if you want to talk about the defense, you almost can't talk about an individual player, because we played a lot of split safety coverages tonight, which we knew we had to play to take away their RPOs and their vertical passing game, and number one, who's a big play player and a very good player. So that starts with the guys up front being able to stop the run when you don't have an extra safety in the box all the time, which we hardly ever did. So I think they all did a good job. The front guys did a really good job of allowing us to play that way, and then the back end guys did a really good job of executing what we needed to do to take those big plays out of the game. The front guys affected the quarterback, which I think was huge in the game as well.
All right, Chuck.
Could you talk more about the secondary, either season-wise or tonight, because there's so many guys doing different things, playing different spots, moving around than maybe we thought they would back in August, and the depth and the versatility for so many of the guys back there?
Well, we have 6 guys that really do a good job. They've all played now the positions that they're playing. Ronnie played the 6 DB last year, so he had a lot of experience at that. He didn't have to play safety. Now he plays safety and dime. You know, Minka played star. Now he has to play safety since we lost Eddie, and he's done a really good job at that. Tony Brown has stepped up very nicely for us and filled in at star. Marlon and Anthony have done a good job at corner. And Hootie Jones has done a good job when he's come in as a 6 defensive back. So those 6 guys have done a really good job for us. Past that, you know, we have a lot of young guys that don't have a lot of experience, but they have made a lot of progress this season and have made a lot of improvement as well. They didn't have much of an opportunity to play tonight.
Okay, over here.
Tommy
Right here,
D's,
Deacon.
Tuscaloosa News for Bo. Did you know this day would come, and was there ever a point when you began to doubt that this day might come, or at least that it might come this year? And for Ryan, you don't see a lot of running backs his size. I guess you had one last year. What did you think of this guy when you first saw him?
I thought he was a monster. You know, I've been seeing him make those runs against us, you know, in scrimmages since he got here. So, you know, it wasn't a surprise to me.
You know, it's just come, you know, trusting the process and, you know, believing in your teammates and, you know, believing in yourself that you can get the job done if the coach can trust you.
You know, I'd like to make a comment about that because, you know, Bo has always been a really hard worker, and he's had some obstacles to overcome, mostly little injury type things that have, you know, plagued him a little bit, but never once did he put his head down, never once did he get frustrated or discouraged, and just kept working, and every time you call on him, he's ready to roll. And, you know, he was, you guys know me, whoever's hot, that's who's going to get the ball, and he's been hot lately, and he's going to get the ball.
All right, over here on the right side.
Nicole Auerbach, USA Today. Nick, kind of following up on that. Was it a plan to get him involved in the offense early, and just kind of, you know, he hasn't had a ton of carries this year, and some, you know, obviously later in games, but that, and then also just after the amount of injuries he weathered in high school and then in getting to Alabama, just how rewarding it is to see this.
Well, it's very rewarding to see him have the kind of success that he's having, knowing what he's been through and what he's had to overcome physically. And he's done a nice job of showing a lot of perseverance in that. But he played really well in the SEC championship game. I think, you know, you all look at stats all the time. We look at how guys play, and he played very well in that game and was very productive. So it was the plan to get him in the game earlier today, but our game plan was to run more direct runs, and that's one thing that he's done extremely well for us.
All right, all the way in the back right, Coach.
Ryan, can you take us through what you saw in that interception return and how that was a real game changer for you guys, like it really has been all year when the defense has been able to score?
I was a rusher, and Ruben gave me a call to peel the back. I peeled him, and the quarterback didn't see me, and I just picked it off.
Yeah, that was a great job of those two guys executing, and it shows you that guys aren't unselfish at all. When the back was offset to an open inside, we wanted Ruben to rush the A-gap and Ryan to take the back, and you know, he's a great pass rusher, so but that also helped our protection, and if the back blocked Ruben, we got an extra guy rushing. So they did a nice job in practice of executing that, and they did a really good job, and I don't think the quarterback expected Ryan to peel the guy on that play, and threw the ball out there, and Ryan made a great play and a great run, and it was a big play in the game.
All right, over here, Ed.
Edward Ashoff, ESPN. Nick, can you just talk about how Eddie Jackson has helped this defense out while he hasn't been able to play? A lot of guys were complimentary of him. And also Ryan, you know, how much of an influence has Eddie been for you?
Well, me and Eddie, we real close. So I'll say me and Eddie, probably all the guys on the team are the closest, the dude that I'm closest to. You know, so when he first got hurt, man, it just, at that moment, you know, I actually asked Coach could I wear his number, you know, because I really was hurt about that he couldn't finish the year how he wanted to, based on the fact that he came back. Man, he just been there, and he's like a coach now, man. So it means a lot to us, and it means a lot to us to go out there and win for him.
Did you see the article that he wrote? Well, the last step of that, the last sentence of that said something like, you know, I would give up anything to go out there and play with my brothers again. So you guys take advantage of every play that you have. But I think that one thing that I took from that article that some people don't realize, especially if you haven't played on a team, especially a football team, which is probably the greatest team game there is because there's more participants, that no matter what you search for in your life, no matter where you go or what you do, I mean, we went to the Martin Luther King Center. We've been all over this town this week. All right, when you're in that huddle, there ain't nobody special. Everybody's together. Everybody has respect for each other, and everybody appreciates the job that everybody else does. And you can go a long way in doing a lot of things, and you may never find that. You may never find that, but you find it when you play football and you play together as a team. And I think that article epitomized the defensive chemistry that we have and how important those guys are to each other and how they play well together.
All right, time for just a couple more. We'll go right here next.
Nicole Iraq, USA Today. For Bo, if I have it right, 3 season-ending injuries in high school. Just can you kind of reflect on that and just really how far it's come for different injuries, pushing your body, getting your body back, and then starting off with the knee injury at Alabama, and just all of that to get here and to have this performance on the stage?
By having so many injuries, it's really a mind thing. You can't let your mind take over your body. You know, you just got to keep pushing and keep pushing. That's what I did, and I worked at it every day. And then, you know, another injury came, so I treated it like the same one. So I didn't let it get to my head. So I just kept working and working, and I overcame the injuries.
All right, last question right here on the left, please.
Bo, can you kind of take us through that touchdown run? I mean, you're 2 or 3 inches off from losing it all right at the line of scrimmage, and had to collect yourself. Then you had to make somebody miss. Then you made a cut. Kind of take it what it looked like through your eyes.
I mean, you had to ask my offensive line about that. I mean, because, you know, they did their job, and I just took what they gave me. Like, it's just the process, you know, and you got to trust the plays that you running, and you got to believe in your offensive line that they going to get the job done. And when you get to the secondary, you're on your own, basically, because the offensive line did their job. So I really think you should ask the offensive line what they did to get me through there.
All right, we'll end it there. Thank you, everybody. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate you all. Happy New Year, everybody. Thank you.